else, grab our crucible with our hands and dunk and smash it down for good luck. Ta-da! An iron bar. First we gotta head back into town and we gotta use this here scale. And by that I mean I'm not gonna pay 146 for my own. We're just gonna wait on the display model. Why pay when we don't have to? Okay, well its weight is only 43, but it costs 521. Well, sure hope this thing is good enough. Alright, let's give it a shot. I'm assuming this goes in here. Oh, and don't forget to hop inside and really get all over your burning skin. Pull this lever. Huh, guess this isn't enough. Well, no problem. It's as easy as grind, and sort, and melt, and cast, and weigh. Much better. And dunk, and bathe, and now... Whoa! Oh, there we go. Oh, geez. Well, that about did it, I guess. God, so much work. Oh, but how nice of the machine. It gave me my change. Well, we're gonna need a lot of these things, so I guess give me a second here while I do this procedure a couple more times. Took freaking forever, but at least it was worth it. Weighs 9,571.96.
Ei sinne. Minä sanoin, että ei koski sitä, kun ota tippu sinne lattialle.
You go and make. So much more fun to watch from the outside. And thank you for my change. Hey, what happens if I just do another one of these without moving the first one? Only one way to find out. Are there two in this spot? Oh yeah, there sure are. Oh, okay, bye. Well, no reason to not just leave these up here while I keep making more of these. What about if I throw myself on there? Oh boy! Oh bummer, I'm still alive and not smashed into anvil paste. Okay, so I made a whole bunch of them and they're all on that spot. So let's move them and... Oh, well, you don't see that every day at 1 frame per second. Now there's the magic I like to see. I'm glad it's able to hold itself up. I'm not sure I was expecting physics to get this broken, and I love it. Oh, what's happening? And everything's free again. And everywhere. Well, that was exciting. And I think we have a new goal. So back here with all these little trophy things, it looks like this forged iron intake booster only needs a weight of 60. We need to see how many of these we can make, and how many of those can exist on that one spot on the anvil. And in order to accomplish that, we're going to need a lot more mining power, like automated mining power. So first let's go around and collect all of these things, because my god, they found themselves going everywhere. How did you even get over there? How? Easy, come here. Okay, I think that's maybe all of them, maybe. It's a big place. And I also noticed this contraption, but I think I understand what it's trying to say. This is us here. We put stuff in here, and it travels through the pipes, and then down here, and then who knows where. So I guess only one way to find out. Have a safe trip. And let's see, what I'm hoping is it shows up. There it is. I guess now we know how this thing works. So before we send the other ones out, we should probably go get the car. After all, that's a lot of transporting. And why do that when we've got this beautiful vehicle? Okay, that seems about good. Let's go ahead and just send them all at once. What could possibly go wrong? I couldn't help but notice as I keep doing more and more of these, the frame rate's getting that much more jagged. Okay, and last one. Let's see how it went. No way. They actually all loaded on at once. My god, this is a Christmas miracle. Although my left tire doesn't seem to be liking this very much. Also, every time I stop and start again, it like jerks forward. Well, whatever, I'll take it. I'm just completely impressed it worked at all. And now that we've got all these things, I think you know what happens next. So give me about 1,000,000 years to get these set up. Okay, I think we've made good progress.
Varovasti siinä on leikit, että ei saa heittää sinne, missä on tämmönen mirror. Menee rikki kapasuntu. Kuulitko? Ei saa heittää tavarat. Osu siihen, niin se kaikki menee rikki. I'm sure in rapid succession these little piles are going to start to get a whole lot bigger. So let's wait and see, shall we? Hold, please. Okay, so brace yourself. The frame rate right now, some might describe it as uneven. Can't say I blame them though. There's like 8 bajillion pieces of rock now, with more on the way all the time. Oh, merciful heaven. And one of my favorite parts is when we take a step back and all that stuff gloriously vanishes, we can still see our handiwork doing its thing 24/7. Although, you know, I've got this weird feeling that we're bordering on unplayable. Maybe getting some distance from this thing will help. No, it doesn't.
Toi vitun tyyny on ihan likainen. Toi vitun sininen matto ihan
But now we have too many because this slideshow is strangely enough ideal building conditions. So let's see if we can't reduce.
Jaakko, ei koske multa.
We have a new item that we're going to use just for that purpose.
Se on likainen.
TNT. Okay, here goes nothing.
Puhista kädet. Ette tule. Puhista kädet tänne.
Kaboom. Oh yeah, I forgot that it converts things into little scrap cubes. I guess that's not really going to help reduce the lag. It's just making one item for another. Well, I hate to say it, but I think we're going to have to go with the extreme option. Over in the menu, there's this button. We're all dirt chunks, so say goodbye to all the work those machines did. Okay, back in action. Now I realize that seems like a waste, but if there's one thing this process teaches us, there's always more where that came from. So here's something I'm kind of curious about. We need a bunch of iron, right? But does it actually need to be in bar form? Or can I just throw this thing directly into the crucible? Oh, good to know. What about other materials? What if I try to mix gold in? Ah, I see.
Jaakko.
It doesn't mix. It just bounces for all eternity. Well, sounds good to me. With that in mind, this couldn't be more simple.
Just pestiin, nyt se on ihan mullas. Se laittaa koko se autoon
smelting. And in order to do that, we're gonna need some supplies.
Ei jumalauta,
Jaakko. Time with our best friends, conveyor belt. And last but not least, a trip to our personal favorite.
Tuo auto ihan mullas. Se on just pesti toi vitun.
Good friend Dynamite. Sorry noobs, you're a tad too powerful for this job. So the reason we need this dynamite is we just don't have enough space to get the conveyor belt.
Nyt on se jääkiekko.
Dig these things out. Well, where's the fun in that? See, isn't that mud?
No niin, no se on väärin. Miksi tossa tullut? Jääkiekko. Suomen finaali Kanadaa vastaan. No niin, äistys. No niin, nyt alkoi finaali. Nyt shut up.
Valikoima -20%. Kekkikopin ostoksille 100 emotion ja verkkokauppa.
Lopethan nyt saatana. Lopethan nyt vittu. Se on tietokone. Mistä sä katsot tietokoneella YouTube? Mistä sä katsot telkkarissa? Sulla on oma tietokone. Mihin sä tarvitset puhelin? Sulla on internet koko ajan. Sulla on tietokone.
1960.
Mitä sä teet? Miten jääkin? Jääkin kauhean.
Hallajuusto on suomalainen vaihtoehto pannulle,
Ei.
pannulle tai grilliin.
Jans.
Elämän valintoja. Valitse paremmin. Juustoportti.
Pysy liikkeessä. Movex ravintolisät nivelten toiminnan tuesta. Ja Movex Ice ilmakuuma voide kihäs ja nivelkipuihin. Apteekista.
Oho. Nyt ei kyllä.
Much more pleasant. Just leave it to nicely placed dynamite to probably get the job done. Have a nice summer. Yep, that's how you know it's a good explosion. When the game runs at like 0.001 frames per second. Ah, excellent. See, look how perfect this is. So much room for mingling. I like to imagine as I'm assessing this situation, I'm just being constantly pelted by little rocks. Yes, thank you. It feels so good on my skin. Anyway, with all this open space, it's the perfect place to do some collection. And this is where conveyor belts come into play. Oh, but it's not like the old days. You used to be able to just put conveyor belts down on their own, but now they have to be hooked on the pipes. So before putting down any conveyor belts, first we have to create a system of pipes. Yeah, kind of like that. Now that it's hooked up to water, we can attach these things and off they go. So just like before, give me a second, because then this will turn into this. Ta-da! And then as it collects more and more rocks, oh my god, what is happening in the background? What are you doing, buddy? Stop it. I'm trying to explain the conveyor belts. It's so distracting. Anyway, as the rocks make their way over to the end, they all collect here, where they all follow their way down to, well, for the moment, they don't go anywhere. That is until we activate our next super weapon, which is turning on creative mode. See, normally when you're placing items, you can only go so far with them before you're not allowed to build. But if instead we turn on creative mode, now when I take an item, I can place it anywhere in the world I want, which is what's going to allow us to expand our build. And actually, we're going to have these conveyor belts go the other direction, because we want to have them all be corralled over to this thing, where it ever so gracefully crawls its way up this conveyor belt. Look, sometimes you get random stowaways like that guy. Welcome to the belt. And then all of our glorious struggling minerals head on over here and up the ramp for glorious processing. And then these grotesque pile of minerals just travel for a while, where they take the scenic route all the way down the river, until eventually it's time for a nice big climb. Because you see, if we're going to get all these materials all the way for smelting, we've got to clear this mountain. So it's around this point that we start to run out of water. And because all the conveyor belts are powered by water, we got to switch up our methods a little bit. So here comes the fun part, which is when all the materials take a nice little jump. Whee! Which is to say they're getting sucked up by magnets. Now, I don't claim to know how these magnet things work. All I can tell you is it allows you to pull minerals across the skies for a really, really long time. They just slowly get pulled all the way. Like once we finish that first run, you've got even more all the way over to the entrance. At which point we have more conveyor belts waiting for you. And oh boy, it's showtime. Bye! Thanks, elevator shaft. Whatever, the important part is that minerals made it down here. Come on, you weird cluster of minerals. It's time to meet your fate, as a group apparently. Can't wait to see how they deal with this little ramp I made here to make sure everything goes in. Here it goes. Ah, excellent. Well, it comes as no surprise to me, but it looks like there's a couple problems with our system. I mean, things are coming, it's just taking a while. So I'm just gonna let this run for a little while, and we'll check back in a little bit. Okay, so I let this run for quite a while. Most of the rejected stuff just kind of bounces out, and now it looks like the crucible here is just a really messy buffer. Anyway, we got this thing in position. No, I have no idea how much is in there. I just know it's a lot. So let's start making some stuff. Oh, it's a little baby thing. You know, I got a better idea. Why don't we just build a bunch of things all in the same space? Ah, yes, very nice. The ultimate machine. And we'll just make all of these for a little while. Okay, so I've been at this for quite a while. You wouldn't know it by looking at this, but there's actually like, I don't know, like 300 machines in there. Maybe more. I don't know, I've been at this a while. So now let's get them moving and see what happens. Oh. Is something happening? I can't really tell. Everything seems to be frozen. Still here, still waiting to see if something happens. Hey, yeah, me again. No, we're still frozen. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's gonna come back. I have no idea. Oh, there.
Yeah, because game is over.